Okay.
Now we are going to discuss about the human digestive system. Actually, what is the digestion? Digestion is a phenomena in which what we are doing here, we are converting the complex molecules into their simpler forms here with the help of the enzymes, right? Here, now, what is the importance of digestion? Why the digestion should occur in the human beings? See here, the food which we are taking, see any type of food we can take here, the food which we are taking, that food should be digested compulsory. Why we have to digest the food actually? By the digestion process only, what is happening here? We are extracting the energy from the food materials here. Now, to discuss about digestion, first we have to discuss about the digestive system. What the human digestive system will be consisting of. As we know always here, digestive system consisting of different parts here. Apart from different parts here, what is happening here? Digestive tract we are saying, or alimentary canal we are saying. Digestive tract or alimentary canal we are saying. Remember this point always here. Digestive tract or alimentary canal always starts with the mouth here. Always starts with the mouth and ends with the anus, right? Digestive tract or alimentary canal always starts with the mouth and ends with the anus here. And apart from this, these things here, in between the mouth and anus, the digestive tract will be consisting of a different parts here. Now we are going to see about all that parts here. If you see all that parts here, first what we discussed now, mouth is there we are saying, right? Always mouth is there, right? What is the importance of mouth? Mouth in the process of digestion, actually the food which we are taking, that food firstly we are taking from the mouth here, right? And here what is happening here? In the mouth what is happening here? Mouth always consisting of a tongue and teeth here. What is happening here? The mouth always consisting of what? Mouth always consisting of a tongue and teeth here. Tongue always helps in the mixing of the food materials, and teeth which are there, teeth always helps in the cutting of the food materials. As we are discussing about the teeth now, mainly human being mainly consisting of 4 types of teeth here. Human being mainly consisting of what? 4 types of teeth we are saying. The 4 types of teeth mainly consisting of what? Incisors, canines, premolars, molars, right? Incisors are the teeth. That means the front teeth which we are seeing. They are the incisors here. Incisors are the teeth which always helps in the cutting of food materials, right? Then beneath that means back of the incisors actually we had a canines. Canines are the teeth which always helps in the tearing of the food materials. Tearing of the food materials which we are taking, that is done by the canines. And backside of the canines we had the premolars and molars. The term always indicate premolars, which are pre mean before. That means they are present before the molars. Molars are the last teeth we are saying. Totally 4 types of teeth mainly we are saying. And remember this point always here. In these 4 types of teeth which we are there, canines. The canines which are useful for the tearing of the food materials, they are absent in the herbivores. Herbivore, it means what? They are the plant eating animals. They are absent, right? Here in the what is happening here? In the herbivores, the canines are absent we are saying. And how many teeth are there? We know actually. Human being always consisting of 32 teeth we are saying. 16 upper jaw, 16 lower jaw we are saying. In the human being, permanent teeth are 32 and milk teeth are 20. What are the milk teeth here? When the baby is infant stage, what happens? The first form teeth we are calling as a milk teeth. That milk teeth will be goes off or vanishes off. Again in the place of that teeth, what happens here? Again the new teeth will come. That teeth we are calling as a permanent teeth here. Always remember this point here. In the human beings, 2 times the teeth will be appearing here. The first form of teeth we are calling as what? Milk teeth we are calling, and the after form of teeth, right? That teeth we are calling as permanent teeth here. Always milk teeth are 20 in number and permanent teeth are 32 in number. Now we got about the mouth now. Always mouth consisting of tongue and teeth we are saying. What are the functions of the tongue and teeth we are saying? We know all these things now. Now what is happening here? Mouth always opens into buccal cavity we are saying, or else oral cavity. Mouth always opens into what? Buccal cavity or oral cavity we are saying. Here what happens? The food which we are taking into the mouth, actually that food is actually present in this thing here, buccal cavity or oral cavity. The palate, P-A-L-A-T, the palate which is there, palate always separates the mouth with the buccal cavity here. Now buccal cavity which is there, the buccal cavity opens into what? Opens into pharynx. Buccal cavity opens to next part. What is the next part here? Next part we are saying as a pharynx here. And in this diagram we are seeing about the salivary glands here. Remember this point here. In this mouth only we are seeing the salivary glands. It means beneath the tongue actually we are seeing the salivary glands. Salivary glands are of three types again: sublingual, then submaxillary, then parotid glands we had it, right? Salivary glands always secrete the saliva, which helps in the digestion of the food materials, and saliva also consisting of lysozyme, which is antibacterial, right? Now we know this thing. Mouth is opening into buccal cavity or oral cavity, we are saying. That oral cavity is opening into pharynx, we are saying. That means this part, right? Pharynx, we are saying. And pharynx opens into long tube-like structure. This thing, the long tube-like structure. That long tube-like structure we are calling it as a esophagus. Esophagus is a long tube-like structure which is present beneath the pharynx, we are saying. And what happens in the esophagus actually? The food which we are taking here, what happens here actually? That food will be entering into the esophagus, right? And remember this point, how the food is moving in the esophagus. The food in the esophagus always moves by the peristaltic movements. Peristaltic movements are the wave-like movements. What are the peristaltic movements now? Now the food which it is there. First of all, what is happening here? Here the contraction of the esophagus takes place. Contraction, it means coming nearer. And before that contraction, what happens here? Expansion takes place. By the contraction, expansion of this esophagus tube here, what happens here actually? The food is moving forward, right? Then from this esophagus, what happens here? The food is given to the stomach, right? What is happening here? Stomach is the main important part of the digestive system here, because what is happening here? The food which is there from the esophagus, that enters into stomach. And here stomach is divided into three parts again: cardia, fundic, pylori parts here. Three parts again: cardia, fundic, pylori parts, we are saying. Stomach always stores the food materials, we are saying, right? And in the stomach, the partial digestion takes place here. The complete digestion will not take place in the stomach here. Remember this point here. In the stomach, the partial digestion takes place. We are also calling the stomach as a gastric cavity. We are also calling the stomach as what? Gastric cavity now, right? Now what is happening here actually? And now this stomach, right? This stomach always opens into what? Opens into small intestine, we are saying. Opens into next part, we are saying as what? Small intestine, we are saying. And small intestine always starts with what? Duodenum. This part, the tube-like opening, we are calling as what? Duodenum. Duodenum, we are saying. Duodenum is a part of the small intestine which connects the stomach with the small intestine again, right? This part we are saying as a duodenum, right? Now what is happening here? This duodenum always opens into what? Jejunum, right? This part we are saying as jejunum. Jejunum, and jejunum lastly opens into the ileum part. Jejunum lastly opens into what? Ileum part. Now what are the parts of small intestine now? Small intestine mainly consisting of a duodenum which is coming out from the stomach, and duodenum opens into jejunum. Lastly, what is happening here? Jejunum opens into ileum. These are the parts of the small intestine. And remember a point compulsory: major process of digestion. The major process of digestion mainly takes place in the small intestine only. That means digestion of the proteins, digestion of the fats, digestion of the nucleic acids, digestion of the carbohydrates. All these things will take place in this small intestine only. That means major portion of digestion takes place in the small intestine only, we are saying. Apart from small intestine, what we have? Large intestine, we are saying. This part what we are saying? This part we are saying as a large intestine. In the large intestine, what happens again actually? This is the diagram in the large intestine. What are the parts here? Cecum we had, colon part we had, and rectum part we had. Three parts we had in the large intestine. Large intestine mainly consisting of what? Large intestine mainly consisting of a cecum part, colon part, and then rectum part. And again we are dividing the colon into three parts again. Ascending colon we had, then ascending colon we had, transverse colon we had, descending colon we had. Ascending colon because this part of the colon which is there, it is moving upward. Ascending, moving upward here, right? Transverse, as it is called in the transverse, we are calling as what? Transverse colon, we are saying. Apart from the transverse colon, what we are saying? Descending, coming down. That's why we are calling as what? Descending. And this colon opens into what? This colon opens into the rectum part here. Last part of this large intestine we are calling as what? Rectum part here. And remember this point always here. Rectum, always in the rectum, reabsorption of the water takes place. Lastly, and this opens into the anus, right? This is about digestive tract, we are saying. And what are the parts we got in digestive tract? The parts we got in digestive tract mainly consisting of what? Different parts we discussed. In these different parts, what we are saying here? But mouth we had. Mouth opens into what? Buccal cavity, we are saying. Buccal cavity opens into pharynx, we are saying. Pharynx opens into esophagus, we are saying. Esophagus opens into stomach, we are saying. Stomach opens into small intestine. Small intestine into large intestine. Large intestine into, lastly what is happening here? Into the anus, we are saying. Then what happens here actually? And digestive tract, as we got the idea now. Remember this one. The same flow chart we are seeing about this thing now. What we discussed in the earlier. diagram, we are discussing the flow chart. The same thing. The food which we are taking, mainly consisting of what here? The food first enters into the mouth here, as we discussed. And from the mouth, what happens here? Food is entering into the buccal cavity. From buccal cavity, what happens here? The food is entering into the pharynx, right? And what is happening in the pharynx? From the pharynx, the food is entering into the long tube-like structure known as esophagus. From esophagus, what happens here? Food enters into the stomach. In the stomach, what is happening? As a partial digestion takes place, from the stomach, again the food enters into the duodenum of the small intestine part. And remember, very important point here. Into the duodenum only, the liver, right? Hepatic duct. Liver, hepatic duct opens, and then pancreatic duct opens here. That means liver secretions are entering into duodenum, and pancreatic secretions are entering into the duodenum here. That means liver secretions and pancreatic secretions both enters into the duodenum here, right? Right. That means bile duct is entering, then pancreatic duct is entering. Both are entering into the duodenum here. Now duodenum opens into what? Small intestine. Small intestine opens into large intestine. Large intestine lastly opens into what? Rectum, which is a part of large intestine, and to the anus. This completely we are saying as a digestive tract or as alimentary canal we are calling it. And alimentary canal we are calling. Now, see, digestive system parts we studied. What are different parts we studied now? Apart from the parts which we studied in the diagram of digestive system, what are the other parts which are helping in the process of digestion now? The parts in the body which are helping in the process of digestion mainly consisting of what here? Liver we had, then pancreas we had, both things we had. If you see the liver here, what is the importance of liver now? And this complete thing we are calling as a liver. This complete thing we are calling as a liver, and this part we know as it is the stomach now. Upon the stomach only the liver is present here. As we know about the liver now, what is the liver actually? Liver is the largest gland in the body. Remember this point here. Liver is the largest gland in the body. Liver weighs about 1.2 kgs to 1.5 kgs. Liver weighs about 1.2 kgs to 1.5 kgs. The cells present in the liver we are calling as what? Hepatic cells. Remember this point here. The cells present in the liver we are calling as what? Hepatic cells we are calling. Now regarding the liver here, and what are the different types of ducts, all these things we are saying. Here liver always consisting of hepatic portal vein we are saying. Vein, right? What is the vein? What is the artery we are saying? We know the vein, we know the artery. That means hepatic portal vein. That means which actually brings the blood to the liver. Then hepatic duct we are saying. That means which is opening into the liver we are saying. And then remember very important point here. What is the function of the liver we had? In the liver, within the liver, beneath the liver actually we had a pouch-like structure. That pouch-like structure we are calling as what? Gallbladder. That pouch-like structure we are calling as what? That pouch-like structure we are calling as gallbladder. And very important point here, liver always by the secretion of the bile juice. Liver always by the secretion of the bile juice, it helps in the process of digestion. Remember this point here. Hepatic cells which are there in the liver. Hepatic cells which are there in the liver, that hepatic cells are mainly responsible for the formation of the bile juice. Don't confuse here. Liver secretes the bile juice. Liver secretes the bile juice, and bile juice is stored in the gallbladder. Right? Liver secretes the bile juice. Bile juice is stored in the gallbladder. First of all, now, what is the bile juice now? Right? Bile juice composition mainly consisting of what? Bile salts and bile pigments. Bile salts mainly consisting of what here? Bile salts mainly consisting of glycocholates and tarocholates of sodium and potassium. Bile salts mainly consisting of what here? Bile salts mainly consisting of a glycocholates and tarocholates of the sodium and potassium. And bile juice also consisting of bile pigments. The bile pigments mainly consisting of what? Bilirubin, then biliverdin we have, right? And very important point here, bile juice will not be consisting of any enzymes. Very important point here. Bile juice will not be consisting of any enzymes. Now we discussed about the bile juice, all these things. Now how the bile juice is helping in the process of digestion? Very important point here. Bile juice always helps in the emulsification of fats. Bile juice always helps in what? Bile juice always helps in the emulsification of fats we are saying. What is the emulsification? Fats we know. Fats always we are taking from the oil entities we know. What is the emulsification? Emulsification is a phenomena of conversion of the large globular fats into small fats. As we discussed in the definition of digestion only, we are converting the complex molecules into simpler molecules we discussed now. The same phenomena we are following in this emulsification of fats here. By the emulsification of fats, what we are doing? Bile juice which is there, it always helps in the emulsification of fats we are saying. Emulsification of fats, it means we are converting the large globular fats into small fats we are saying. Right? This is about the liver we had. Liver, that means the structure of liver we had. Then what are the bile juice we had? What are the function of all these things we had? Apart from the liver, we also had the pancreas we are saying. No, right. Here, see where the pancreas are present. Actually, just what is happening below the liver exactly. We are seeing the pancreas here. What is the importance of pancreas now? As we discussed the point here, in the digestive system, in the body parts, apart from digestive system, what is happening here? Liver and pancreas both helps in the process of digestion. We are saying how the liver is helping, by the secretion of bile juice. The liver helps in the process of digestion. We discussed now. What are the pancreas now? What is the importance of pancreas? Remember this point here. The pancreas which are there, pancreas are the second largest glands in the body. Pancreas are the second largest glands in the body, and we are also calling the pancreas as a mixed gland, right? What we are calling? We are also calling the pancreas as the mixed glands here. Why we are calling the pancreas as a mixed gland? We are calling this pancreas as a mixed gland because the pancreatic part, our pancreas is consisting of a exocrine gland part and endocrine gland part here. Exocrine gland part we had, and then endocrine gland part we had in the pancreas. So that's why we are calling the pancreas a mixed gland. Now, what are the exocrine glands? Exocrine glands are the ducted glands, right? Remember this point here. Exocrine glands are the ducted glands. We are saying exocrine glands. Examples always we can take as salivary glands. We can take sebaceous glands. We can take these. We can take examples for the exocrine glands here. And endocrine glands we are saying. Endocrine glands are the glands in which the ducts are absent. We are saying DUCT. The ducts are absent. We are saying, right? As ducts are absent in the endocrine glands, what happens here? They will release their secretions directly into the body fluids here. Endocrine glands, example we can take as a pituitary gland, we can take thyroid gland, we can take all these things we can take. As these two gland parts are present in the pancreas, what we are calling the pancreas as a mixed gland here. Now how this pancreas will help in the process of digestion? Here, as we know, the pancreas by the secretion of the pancreatic juice, what happens here? It always helps in the process of digestion. That pancreatic juice will be consisting of a different enzymes. Trypsin, chymotrypsin, pancreatic lipase, like that enzymes are present, bicarbonates, they are present in the pancreatic juice here. And by this thing, what is happening? Pancreas also helps in the process of digestion, we are saying. Now, in this, all the things what we discussed now about the digestive system, we discussed about digestive tract, we discussed about digestive tract and alimentary canal, both are same, we are saying. Structure of liver we discussed and structure of pancreas we discussed. And remember this point always here. As we know, as we discussed about process of digestion, what is the definition of process of digestion here? Definition of the digestion mainly consisting of we are converting the complex molecules into simpler molecules. What complex molecules we are taking into the body through the food here? The complex molecules mainly we are taking into the body mainly consisting of carbohydrates we are taking, proteins we are taking, lipids we are taking, and then nucleic acids we are taking. Remember this point here. Carbohydrates are the complex molecules. Their simpler forms mainly consisting of what? Glucose, fructose, or else we can take as sucrose, mannose. All these things are their simpler forms. Proteins are the complex forms we are saying. Apart of the proteins are the complex forms we are saying. Then simpler forms of the proteins mainly consisting of amino acids. Then fats are the complex forms we are saying. Simpler forms of the fats mainly consisting of what? Fatty acids and the glycerols we are saying. Then nucleic acids we are saying. Nucleic acids are the complex molecules we are saying. That nucleic acids, simpler molecules mainly consisting. That means nucleic acids are mainly DNA and RNA. DNA it means what? Deoxyribose nucleic acid. RNA it means what? Ribose nucleic acid we are saying. We are converting this DNA RNA into lastly what we are converting into nucleotides, all these things here, right? Clear about? And now in this session we discussed about the complete digestive system, digestive tract, liver, pancreas, all these things. Thank you.